Hello, EKN Nation. Time to get things underway for the coverage of this year's ROK Vegas. My name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole. EKN OutLap number 98. It's October the 22nd, just over a week, or just under a week away, actually. Drivers and teams will be ready to rock out in Las Vegas. Anything's underway, again, for this year's ROK Vegas event, October 29th to November 2nd. The dates for the event, myself and David will be heading out there to cover the event. Looking forward to it. This edition of the OutLap to kick off our trackside coverage presented by OTK USA. All over the karting world, everyone knows OTK is the gold standard for quality and performance. In the U.S., OTK USA is the source for all things OTK. From the legendary Tony Kart brand to the race-winning Cosmic, Xpree, Red Speed, and EOS chassis, and now the new Gallard, Lando Norris, and Carlos Sainz brands, OTK quality is second to none. To learn more about a specific product line or to find the OTK USA dealer near you, visit otkusa.com. All right, David Cole, this is it. You wrote an article actually called The Big Three, where you put Rotax, ROK, and IAME together with the U.S. Trophy Final. ROK Vegas event we're going to be talking about here today, and then, of course, the Super Nationals for IAME. I would probably throw in the CKNA Grand Nationals with Briggs and call it the Big Four. Really, David, we're capping off the season with those manufacturer-focused spec programs. Of course, two big races in Las Vegas.
I would call it the Fantastic Four. Then you got to play with words, Rob. Come on,
I like that. No, I like that. The Fantastic Four, good stuff.
The Fantastic Four, dynamic duo, the Big Three, kind of that rolls off the tongue well.
It's good. It's good. We'll get that trademarked. Oh, maybe we can't.
Probably not.
Let's dive into it, folks. ROK Vegas 2025, big numbers back at the Rio Hotel and Casino, where, of course, karting kind of came out of the desert into Las Vegas back in 2002. Eighth edition of the event. David, let's dive into it a little bit and talk about event notes, schedule, you name it.
Yeah, again, we're getting to the halfway point. Obviously, we're a little bit early on our podcast. You have some extracurricular activities going on.
A little busy next week, yeah.
Over the next week. So you'll be arriving Thursday from your double destination trip for the USF Pro Championships program. So so we're recording this a little bit earlier. And again, we were just at the road tax race, so I'm not as prepared as I want to be. But we have the entry list to kind of look at, go over. So kind of spitballing off the top of our head some of the names, some of the people we see that are going to be obviously notables that will be in Vegas, where we're seeing over 300 entries and probably more because they do have that walk-up program. They're going to have, people are going to see the entry list and start entering as well too. So lots to kind of unravel in this early but not early podcast that we're going to be doing.
It's great. It's my fault for essentially having to do this here today on the 22nd, as opposed to maybe later on in the week or even first thing next week before we took the trip out to Vegas. I've got the USF Pro Championships Fall Combine this coming weekend at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Straight from there to our staff summit, where we go over everything that happened this year and plan for next year. But Dave, as I would say on a racetrack, right? It's like back to back to back to back to back jacks. It just keeps coming. CKNA, you were down for Rotax. Then I've got the combine. Then we're at the ROK Vegas. Then Super National. So yeah, we're doing our best to jam everything we possibly can in, prepare ourselves. Again, David, you're going to have the rest of the week, and of course Monday and then Tuesday to travel. So you'll have more time to get things dialed in. But I think we're going to be able to do a pretty good job in terms of previewing right now, because the vast majority of those who will be racing this weekend are already on the entry list.
Yeah, exactly that. I'm diving more into more specifics, so make sure you check out our previews. We just published Cadet today. We'll have Junior up tomorrow. We'll do Masters categories after that, and we'll do the Senior categories as a grouping on Saturday. So we'll have more kind of a little bit noteworthy, some notes about each category. But we're obviously gonna have a bunch of information here in this podcast. One of the informations is weather, Rob.
Yeah.
When you think Las Vegas, what do you think? You think warm, non-rain,
cold in the morning, warm during the day.
Yeah, and no rain. And so our early forecast shows temperatures in the high 70s, low in the mid 50s with 0% chance of rain. So that's a positive after I believe Phoenix just got doused with a bunch of rain, maybe even Las Vegas as well too. So
I didn't see that. All right.
So yeah, that's Phoenix actually shut down their racetrack, the karting track, because of
I missed that.
Quote unquote flooding where they had puddles. So
yeah, right. Wow. All right.
But
so David, eighth event or eighth edition of this event. Not all of them coming at the Rio.
Yeah, 2021 they were at the Planet Hollywood, and then this program called Formula One came in and essentially bought up all of the land where near that area where the actual racetrack was, behind Planet Hollywood there on the Strip. So that venue area was no longer available, moving back to the Rio in 2022, and has been there now since and began back in 2018. The precursor to that was the U.S. Open program that was put on by the Max Speed Group. That was road tax based. So we've seen a number of different events held at the Rio, obviously Super Nationals, the U.S. Open, which was road tax based, and now obviously ROK Vegas. Was called ROK the Rio, but obviously when they moved over to Planet Hollywood, you couldn't really call it ROK the Rio. Thus the name ROK Vegas came from that year in 2021.
Let's talk about what we know in terms of event notes. We'll let you dive through the schedule in a second. But Dave, what do you know so far about the new layout potentially here for 2025, new racetrack?
Well, not much other than they did send out a diagram of the racetrack. Obviously, things will change once they start building that racetrack. But again, according to my count, 19 turns. So you got a bunch of S's. Sections in their track design, a bunch of 90-degree corners, but some 3 sweepers, a couple of longer straightaways. So a big mix of a little bit of everything, but the major change is going in the counterclockwise direction. Yeah. I don't even think at the Planet Hollywood, I think that was still a clockwise direction track layout. This is going counterclockwise. So something I don't think this event has ever done. All the other track layouts I recall have always been in that clockwise direction, very similar to the Super National stuff that we saw there, with the exception of one year where they went the opposite direction. So yeah, that is kind of the big change for the ROK Vegas event, going in the counterclockwise direction.
Yeah, and layout wise, we had Mike Burrell from Rock Cup USA on a face-to-face a couple of weeks ago, get a chance to talk about this event, and he was again very honest in terms of the fact that, listen, anytime you get to a track like this where you really haven't been all year, from year to year, things change. They repair things, they dig holes, whatever it may be. So, you can have a concept of what you're going to do, but when you get out there, sometimes you have to adjust a little bit. So while there is a framework in mind they have for the layout of the racetrack, as David said, we've kind of seen the look of that. We had it up on the show. In the end, it's going to turn around where they're going to be able to maybe make some final adjustments before we get there. So don't lock yourself into what you've seen if you've seen anything so far. David, you'll be rolling in there on Tuesday, even though practice starts on Wednesday with 5 rounds of practice. But Tuesday, obviously a notable day as well.
Yeah, Tuesday will obviously be the major focal point will be the new SV Pro category, where they'll be doing engine raffles. That is kind of the focus of that new engine platform that's coming over with Vortex. 50 entries in total in that category, which is amazing, but it's all essentially arrive and drive in terms of engine, because Vortex is going to monitor the engines. It's going to be a raffle after essentially every day. They'll get through 4 different raffles. So they'll change drivers will change their engine 4 different times on the weekend, which very similar to the Academy Trophy program that the FIA does, which Vortex has already been a part of since the beginning, I believe. So well over a decade long that they've been doing something like this. This is a little bit bigger. Numbers are about the same because you get about 50 drivers in the Academy program. So they are doing the same essentially number of engines, but I think the bigger is in terms of the names, and we'll talk about that later when we get into the class preview. But yes, I'll get in Tuesday morning to kind of do some videos and photos of the engine raffle, talk to some of the drivers and competitors about this new engine program, obviously begin our paddock pass as well. Before we get into on-track action, which begins on Wednesday, they'll have 5 rounds of practice on Wednesday to everybody to set themselves up for what will be a very crucial day on Thursday, which includes a practice session, happy hour, and then qualifying to set the stage for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll warm up on Friday. We'll start the live broadcast as well. Myself, DJ Clark, and Jackson Lambros down on pit lane. We'll get things underway Friday with heat race number 1. There is 2 heats coming on Friday. Different for the categories, but 8 minutes plus 2 laps. They have that timed run and add the couple laps at the end. So 8 minutes plus 2 laps, 6 minutes plus 2 laps for the cadets. Saturday, warm up again. We'll start every day with a warm up to get things underway. Heat 3 and Heat 4 on Saturday. We'll have last chance qualifiers as well. And then David, warm-ups and finals on Sunday too. 14-minute main events, 10 minutes, plus 2 laps, of course, for the cadet drivers.
So actually the VLR senior and VLR junior will be only doing 3 heat races. They'll take the top 30 from the heat points. They'll be transferred into the pre-final. The rest of the fields are going to go into the LCQ. And then they'll take the top 10 from the LCQ, and that'll make up your 40 drivers that'll be in the main event on Sunday. So a little bit different format for those 2 categories because of the massive numbers that they do have.
And LCQs. I love LCQs. Those, if you don't get in, don't like it, but it really puts that extra wrinkle in the entire weekend, right? What do you have to do to make sure that you make it into the main event and not have to go run that last chance qualifier?
And having 10 positions makes that race even different. Yep. Because you're sitting 5th. If you're able to get away from the other 5 drivers, it's okay, just cruise. But as we know, Rob, that's not always the case. It's always fun. You see it at even Cup Karts. You see it all the way at the Super Nationals. So all different levels, we've seen drivers drive differently in LCQ than what you would expect.
Okay, we are underway with episode number 98 of the EKN OutLap, kicking off our coverage a bit early for the ROK Vegas event that will happen, of course, at the Rio Hotel and Casino, October 29th to November 2nd. We get back after this first break. We'll dive into the numbers, let you have a look at the 304 pre-entries they have so far. There's a new hot button name in American safety equipment, Stilo USA. Every product with Stilo is focused on safety, comfort, and function. Stilo USA is happy to provide you with the proper safety apparel to keep you protected on the track, and their karting lineup is second to none. New to the product lineup is the Stilo Carbon CMR karting helmet. Designed to revolutionize your karting experience, this carbon fiber crafted helmet is among the lightest on the market, without compromising on safety. The Stilo ST5 KRT karting helmet is manufactured using a lightweight and extremely strong composite material. The KRT provides an excellent fit and comfort level due to its dual-density interior foam lining, and it's equipped with a symmetrical visor that offers excellent vision and an effortless central visor locking system. The Stilo ST5 CMR standard was developed jointly by the FIA Institute and Snell Memorial Foundation to ensure safer and lighter weight helmets for younger karters. Drivers rave about the superior comfort levels, lightweight construction, and the unparalleled field of vision that is perfect for the youth helmet line. Stilo didn't stop with their helmets either. The newly developed Carbon Curva rib protector is unlike any other on the market, with a form-fitting solution to offer superior protection. The Carbon Curva 8870 version is FIA homologated and includes a chest protector. Head to StiloHelmets.com to review these products and many more to keep you safe on the track. Stilo. Any competition, one helmet. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is SodiKart. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to a new exclusive importer, the karting distribution led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer SodiKart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers products in classes from mini karts to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sodi Racing USA has expanded its dealer network over the last year, bringing the Sodi brand to several local clubs and regional programs. Sodi USA by Velocity Racing is the official race team in the United States for the brand, hitting all the major events and series throughout the season. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about the Sodi kart chassis or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. Welcome back to episode 98 of our EKN OutLap, the preview podcast for this year's ROK Vegas event at the Rio. David, let's have a look at by the numbers here right now. 304 drivers have registered so far. And talking with Mike Burrell from ROK Cup USA, they are used to getting a lot of drivers coming straight in and entering at the racetrack as well. So 20, 30, maybe 40 more. We'll see how many drivers come in and enter when they get to the track. The high water mark was 2022 with 355 entries. So if they get a big wave coming in, they may get a chance to set a new record here.
Yeah, possibility of that. International drivers could be signing up, could see some more shifter drivers signing up depending on schedules and how everything has kind of played out. The kind of the highlight of the by the numbers are the two new categories that they do have. They've added a VLR Supermasters and Supermaster Shifter. So for the elder drivers, I won't say the ages because they're old. The elder drivers get to kind of race with. It's kind of a race within a race program because they are going to do two classes in one race group. So you'll have VLR Masters, VLR Supermasters running on the racetrack at the same time, along with Master Shifter and Supermaster Shifter on track at the same time. But 23 in the VLR Supermasters and 8 in the Supermaster Shifter categories.
Is it 40 or 45?
I was just looking that up, but
Yeah.
it was hard for me to talk and type at the same time.
You have a look. You look at that, and I'll kind of go through some things as well. So, yeah, indeed, Scott Falcone was one of the guys that pushed for this to try to get some of these guys that are older, right? Because literally, you think about Masters being at 30 years of age for so many of the organizations, some 32, some 35. It ends up being, when you get to that 45 or 50 mark, you're literally 15 years past some of the guys you're battling with. And the Supermasters has been a program that has been in and out. Superkarts USA did it for a couple of years, but normally, depending on the amount of drivers and who's kind of in the game at that point, it does get a lot of support.
45 is the age.
45.
So for the Supermaster, and their Masters category are at 32, unless a driver is 200 pounds or more, then they're allowed into the Masters category. But
great additions, right, David? So VLR Masters at 12 actual Masters drivers, 23 Supermasters drivers. So a great group there for sure. Master Shifter only at 4. Obviously, the ROK Shifter is not has the support around the country as it has in years past. 4 there for Master Shifter, 8 in the Supermasters category as well. So we're going to get some combination classes, like you said, with it, and a couple that are like race within a race. But I love seeing all those drivers in the VLR Master and Supermaster class. Yeah,
and something we'll have to confirm when we get there Tuesday and talk about the categories on Wednesday. Are they going to race together? Because we just talked about that in our debrief for the U.S. Trophy Final, where the mini and micros ran on track at the same time and they mixed them together as if they were a massive race group, but still scored them separately to where the micro driver had a little bit of say in what was happening in minis. So are we going to see, the Supermaster guy have the ability to win overall in the categories that are racing? So that's something
it would make sense, right, Dave, that they're eligible for both categories.
They're in one class, so I think that they can win the overall, but still win in their category. So you could see, like, say in Supermaster Shifter and Master Shifter, you could have a Supermasters driver win the overall, and a guy finishing third overall could win the Master Shifter category.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think that's essentially how they're going to play that out, but we'll have to confirm that because they are running at the same weight. So that does make at least the competition side of things the same across the board, with the exception of age. So
sounds like a great confirmation for the Paddock Insider where you land on Tuesday.
That's why we saved some of this stuff for later, right?
So guys, ROK Micro and ROK Mini, 32 drivers pre-entered into the micro category, significantly up. And let's say this, significantly up from last year overall as well. It's going to be at least 100 more. There was 226 entries last year, even with a couple of walk-ups, 22 walk-ups. You're going to find yourself with 100 more drivers from last year. So this event really making a surge. 20 drivers in ROK Mini, down a bit from last year. But again, we talk about drivers moving up. VLR Junior, David, 38 last year, back up to 47, kind of where it was back in 22 and 23.
And even the GP junior category going up 10 from 16 to 26. So the ebbs and flows of the age brackets that we do have in karting and kind of dictates the numbers that we do get. But it's again still 52 cadet drivers in total, with those categories obviously not being able to double dip. We do have the double dip in GP junior and VLR junior. Not sure on the exact number of that, but I would probably say close to at least 10 to 15 drivers doing both.
And we mentioned the ROK shifter program, and really you're drawing from drivers that just have ROK packages still, guys coming out of ROK Sonoma. The ROK Pro shifter category at one point, was over 40, right? 54 a number of years ago, with kind of the national move to the KZ power plant at the top levels of racing right now. 14 drivers lined up for the Pro shifter category. Still looks to be a fantastic race. But David, the big ones to look at, of course, VLR Senior at 67, and that ROK SV Pro capped at 50. It is going to be absolutely awesome in that category.
It is. It's going to be great to see this new engine package have 50 drivers on the track at the same time. Obviously, VLR Senior with the split up, so we won't get a full 67 on the track, which I think will probably be a good thing.
Maybe.
But we'll at least have 30 drivers in the heat races on track at the same time. Yeah. So a lot of muscling and elbowing in that category for sure during the 3 rounds of heat races for that.
All right, another break. We come back. Time to go class by class. And of course, started out with the senior drivers. We're going to go ROK SV Pro, ROK Pro Shifter, and ROK VLR Senior. We'll get into the class by class previews after this break. Motor mounts. They keep your engine attached to your chassis, right? The answer is they're much more important than that. Your motor mount is critical in transferring 100% of the power from your engine through to your tires and the racetrack. You need this to get on the podium each and every time you race. Odenthal Racing Products is here for you, providing the best motor mounts on the karting market today, all designed to make sure you're using all the horsepower you pay for. Odenthal Racing Products is a family-owned and operated business with decades of karting experience in providing products with unmatched quality and value for our racing community. The Pro Series mount for 2-cycle engines, which is available in 0, 5, and 8-degree inclinations, provides a rigid structure to help keep vibration to a minimum without adding too much weight to your setup. The 4-cycle Easy Set system is one of the most popular mounts for the Briggs & Stratton 206 power plant. Multiple mounting holes provide the most adjustability depending on your chassis and seat placement. To ensure a tight fit to your chassis, our ORP wedge clamps get the job done, and they feature a number of design updates to provide a lower profile and lighter weight. The clamps are available from 28mm to 32mm in both standard and Euro style sizes. And now, Odenthal has also revolutionized the karting industry with its new Easy GP camera mounting system. Designed to mount anywhere on your chassis with 1 or 2 cameras, the ORP Easy GP camera mount is your solution to capture that onboard winning moment. Head to odenthalracing.com and find a dealer near you. Odenthal Racing Products, proudly made in the USA. Klotz Lubricants has a long history in the sport of karting, with over 60 years of developing products for the motorsports industry. A new product introduced by Klotz combines its technology with the knowledge and experience of one of the sport's legends, Lynn Haddock. The new Haddock Special Formula 2-stroke engine oil is blended at the Klotz facility in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The blend uses a formula that Lynn developed and refined throughout years of racetrack testing. The 2-stroke engine oil is designed specifically for karting engines, using a proprietary blend of synthetic and castor-based oils. The synthetic-based oils provide wear protection at low temperatures, and the castor-based oils provide wear protection at high temperatures and high RPMs. The fluid is anodized to mitigate corrosion and deposit formation and can be mixed with either gasoline or methanol. The new Haddock Special Formula from Klotz is available now through the KlotzLube.com website and will be coming to many kart shops across the country in the near future. Klotz, and the Haddock Special Formula, bringing together decades of experience to the karting industry. Back at it with the EKN OutLap, episode number 98, as we kick off our EKN Trackside coverage of ROK Vegas with a preview podcast. Rob Howden here alongside David Cole. Let's dive right now, David, into the ROK SV Pro category. 50 entries, as we had said. You look at some of the former winners, if you go back to the ROK GP Senior category, Ryan McDermott, Diego Ramos, Jake Drew, Nate Cicero, Ryan Norberg, Mateus Morgado, Stephen Miller, all those drivers, David, tasting victory at a ROK Vegas event. Some big names who have been able to come to the forefront in the primary single speed category.
Yeah, and we have three of those drivers that have won at the ROK Vegas event in this field, including Jake Drew, Ryan Norberg, and Diego Ramos. So Ramos coming off probably one of his more successful seasons in senior level karting, aside from that win in 2019, but a Pro Tour champion. I believe he also won in the VLR 100 category at the Florida Winter Tour.
I remember that, yeah.
So definitely having one of his top years. Big story, obviously, surrounding Ryan Norberg, the move to GFC karting. That's going to be the focal point because this is going to be his debut behind the wheel. Obviously, testing has been one thing, driving down in Orlando is another, but coming to ROK Vegas as a previous winner, making that regime change from Rollison Performance Group over to GFC karting. That's the kind of the focal point. One of his teammates will be Jake Drew under that GFC tent, along with, say, Chase Hand racing under the GFC tent.
Yep.
I thought I saw Jesus Vasquez. Yep, Jesus Vasquez Jr. Under that tent as well. So he's a former two-time winner in the VLR junior category, winning in 2021 and 2022. So those are just some of the quick names that I came off, Rob. There's a lot more in this 50-driver field.
Well, obviously it's a packed field. We know, right? Everybody was clawing themselves to get into this program. 9 different countries represented. A lot of storylines, as we said. David, 7 former ROK Vegas event winners. You mentioned Vasquez with a couple of victories in the VLR category. You talked about Norberg and Ramos already winning in senior ROK. Jake Drew as well. You look at some of the guys as well, though, David, that have kind of one coming up as well. One I'm really excited about is Alexander Vanchev. Here's a guy that was, one of the dominant junior drivers all year long, going to make the move up into the senior category. Won VLR junior last year, stepping up to the big show here. We'll see how young Alexander fares when he's battling against some of the best in the sport.
Yeah, and he's only going to be one of 2 entries as I'm kind of trying to go through the list here for Rollison Performance Group. The other one being Carlos Fonseca, who technically is a master's level driver, but certainly good behind the wheel. So that's going to kind of be, obviously we've seen Vanchev do very well, a very career season in 2025 in the junior ranks, but making that debut in the senior, especially in an engine platform that nobody's run before, kind of helps that, I think, maybe levels the playing field out for him, maybe coming up as a senior rookie. But again, you never quite know what's going to happen in the temporary circuit that is ROK Vegas.
Another Rollison, just a couple down from Vanchev, David, Mingnan Zhu is running for Rollison as well.
There you go. Yep. Another master's level driver as well, too.
Yep. And if you go a little higher, Turner Brown for Rollison.
There we go. Yeah. See, so I just haven't been able to.
We got you going.
To check that out, but he is a former, or actually raced in the junior category last year in the GP Junior, finishing second. So definitely has some experience here at ROK Vegas, but has been racing overseas with the OK Junior platform. So maybe this engine's a little bit closer to that style, but with the clutch. So definitely won't have to worry about the pushing out of the pit lane for that. But
Dave, you think about just some of the big names, obviously, as well in the show here, just to kind of throw those names in there. Paulie Massimino, of course, now coming off earning a ticket to go run at the Rotax Grand Finals. So again, one of the top drivers. We've seen him win in almost every organization this year. Caden McQueen as well, Frankie Mossman. You've got Caleb Gaffera, who's been in the seat quite a bit, even though he's now a race winner in the USF 2000 category. How about Blake Nash coming off a pretty big weekend when we're talking ROK competition over at South Garda at the Super Final? Blake Nash had a tremendous weekend there as well.
Yeah, he was the GP senior champion at the Florida Winter Tour and took his ticket to go to the ROK Cup Super Final, where he did finish in the third position for the Super ROK category. So, and Nash is actually one of the few drivers that had some testing with this engine platform before ROK Cup talked about introducing this engine to the event. He did finish fourth last year in the GP category, along with Oliver Mark, the Canadian driver for Racing Edge Motorsports, finished second. Gavin Wardle finished fifth last year. So three drivers finishing in the top five, returning along with Frankie Mossman, who finished sixth last year. So yes, the list is almost infinity when you look at the number of drivers. You mentioned the McQueen one, looking at kind of the international side of things. Lewis Hodgson, a driver we've seen race at the Super Nationals before, does a lot of car stuff. The Australia driver is going to be racing in this category.
How about he's running for Speed Sense. How about the team owner Austin Elliott getting back behind the wheel?
And Austin Elliott getting back behind the wheel. Ramos, obviously, Gianmatteo Rousseau driving in this category. We haven't seen, I don't think we've seen him in the senior category yet. So
I don't know if I
this could be a debut for him in the senior category as well. So
couple top guns, Keegan Kaminsky and Alan Isambard, right?
Yeah, Alan Isambard done very well on the single speed stuff throughout 2025. So yeah, this could be a perfect kind of combination for him. Obviously, a quicker speed, closer to shifter ranks maybe. So yes, again, Jensen Burnett, the Canadian that's been racing over in Europe all season long, was a top driver at the recent U.S. Trophy final in Newcastle. So again, yes, the list is long.
One last driver I'll throw out there, only because I've watched him throughout the year, just a couple of steps away from the NTT IndyCar Series, a race winner this year in USF Pro 2000, Alessandro De Tullio, who has already tested an Indy Next car. I don't know whether or not he'll end up in that program this next year. I hope he does. But David, he'll be there with Rocket Racing Company, of course, alongside Alan Isambard. That's a pretty solid 1-2 punch. If anybody's with Rocket Racing Company, having those two talented drivers set to go in this category as well.
Yeah, and he's one of the former winners from the ROK Vegas event, winning the junior ROK category in 2020.
So again, storyline after storyline after storyline in ROK SV Pro. That's why it is going to be a big focus of this event. And of course, all of it live on the ROK Cup USA YouTube channel. Looking forward to being in the booth alongside DJ Clark for that coverage throughout the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Dave, let's go to ROK Pro Shifter. 14 entries. You think back to Mateus Ramirez winning back in 2018. Danny Formal, Oliver Askew, Martin Kremers, Kyle Wick. And of course, last year, Daniel Vasile going back-to-back, winning both ROK Vegas and the Super Nationals. There's some big names right there for sure.
Yeah, a lot of big names, and unfortunately, none of them are in this. Are not in this field. That's something we've kind of been watching in 2025. There were no shifter racing at the Florida Winter Tour. You do see some shifter racing at the ROK Sonoma programs. Not quite sure on. I believe there is some racing in the shifter ranks in Canada. Even the numbers at the super final weren't that great. I think they only had 19 in the shifter category. So again, a little bit of a struggle there in terms of the ROK shifter platform, not just here in the US, but across the globe. So, but still, we're going to have a great race in ROK Vegas with certainly some big names. When you talk karting, you can't think of a name that is synonymous with the sport, and Davide Fore, a multi-time world champion. He's going to be actually racing with Orsilon Racing on the Burrell Arts. So a little bit of a change for him, moving from Italian Motors, where he's been for many, many times before. I think that's because of he'll be working with Matteo Pappas. I think he's been doing some driver coaching with the son of Max Pappas over the last few months in the shifter ranks, not only here in the U.S., but of course in Italy as well at the famous South Garda karting facility. So that's kind of that connection there, where they'll be on the same brands, the Burrell Art. when you think of U.S. karting names, you're thinking Jacob Gulick and Hunter Pickett, the GFC drivers. Those are probably going to be the drivers to really watch, especially Gulick coming off a recent victory at the Pro Kart Challenge at the K1 circuit to close out the 2025 season. Cooper Becklin could be a sleeper pick as well too. He's done some racing with Rolison Performance Group in the past, done some car racing as well too. He'll be joining Nelliton Race Concepts on the LN Racing kart chassis.
Yeah, again, I got a couple guys to watch for. Adrian Renenden for Velocity Racing on the Sodi kart. You've seen him running nationally there as well, right up front. Scott Hargrove, I think, is a really interesting story for Italian Motors. He'll be there, of course, with Massimo Valiente, Michael's son, Eric Hermanson in Italian Motors as well. And the reason why I brought Hargrove up was David, when we were at the SCUSA Winter Nationals in Texas at Speed Sports, Scott was telling us, hey, listen, I haven't driven the shifter in a while. I'm going to dive in to make sure I get a chance to kind of get myself up to speed. And David on the Pro Tour was one of the top guys in the Master Shifter category, and all dialed himself in for these races in Las Vegas.
Yeah, if I recall, again, I can't remember and didn't have time to look at it. I think he won the SCUSA Pro Tour Championship.
Agreed, I think he did. Yeah.
So had at least one win, if not maybe two, on the season. Wasn't always the quickest driver. So that's going to be kind of where is he now kind of thing, because we ended that in July. Has he been doing the training over the last couple of months to get ready to be in the pro category, moving back from the Masters ranks?
Yeah, there you go. So Pro Shifter will be interesting for sure. Some top names going ready to battle it out. Let's cap off this segment here by looking at the ROK VLR Senior category. A big one for sure. 67 drivers all vying for the spots to get into the main event on Sunday. Former winners include two-time winner Jensen Altman, Nick Ramirez, Blake Nash, Chase Jones, Stephen Eisert, and Josh Campbell, the reigning winner from 2024. Of course, all eyes will be on the Florida Winter Tour champion Diego Ramos, who, Dave, you've talked about, has been very good in VLR senior competition. Yeah,
he has been. The Florida Winter Tour champion coming in, going to be doing not doing double duty, however, not entered in this category. So focus all his efforts into the new SV program that'll be going there. So, but yeah, Ramos having a great season. We do not have a former winner of this category in the event. Josh Campbell is entered. However, he will not be racing due to having knee surgery for MCL and other tears. Yes. So he will be on the sidelines for a couple months now. So unfortunate for him. He is a basketball player, so possibly a basketball injury. Oh, no. He did confirm MCL with me earlier today before our show. So he was going to be the top returning driver. Other than that, we saw a lot of drivers kind of finishing outside the top 20. We do have Raheem Alibi. Say it again.
Alibi.
Call
it like alibi.
Yeah, alibi.
Yeah.
But not quite. Okay.
Well, there's a I in there.
I'm terrible with names. He's actually been racing shifter in Europe. He did the Champions of the Future and the FIA event. He'll be, I guess, the top returning driver. One of them finishing 18th last year in this category. Jameson Gwinnett finished 13th. So he's technically the top returning driver in this category. So not a lot of names, big names were at the front of the field, I guess, last year or even entered. But we do have some big names in the field this year for sure.
Yeah, I'm scrolling back up here. Last year in that VLR senior category, 53 drivers in total, but they have drawn a lot of bigger names. Like you said, former winners in the senior ROK category, like a Jake Drew. We've seen guys win at the Rio, Zach Clayman, DeMello. You already mentioned Jensen Burnett. It'll be interesting, David. I don't know if you probably had not had the chance to dive in yet, but to find out when it's all said and done, how many guys are actually doing double duty? Some of the big names, we're not seeing them run in that VLR senior category. You mentioned Diego Ramos, right? They're focused on the SV Pro category. We're not seeing a lot of guys doing the double.
Yeah, Burnett and Drew are among the names doing both. You got a guy like Scout Falcone doing senior and masters, or I should say super masters. So I don't think we saw a Garzone in the pro category, but yeah, in our preview, we'll kind of have a rundown. You got Isambard running both.
Yep.
So I would say, like I said about the junior category, you probably got at least 10 guys kind of maybe doing double dip. Dean Pedersen, who has been racing over in Europe throughout the year, he actually finished 9th in the junior ranks in the junior category last year. So he'll be making his senior debut. So yes, I would say about 10 drivers maybe in the senior ranks. You got Jesus Vasquez Jr., the two-time VLR junior winner in this class. He was a DNF last year, so he's double dipping along with Alexander Vanchev double dipping. So it's at least 10 drivers that we do see double dipping. Obviously, the 50 drivers we do see in the pro, those are essentially your GP drivers. Not a lot of double dipping, but we will have it when you get to Vegas. Time to go all in, right?
That's right. Just push it to the middle, boy. Put the chips in the middle. Chase Hand is running the VLR class. Colin Lloyd. Here's some of the other big names we see in single speed competition. James Overbeck, David, who has been, really last couple of years have stepped right into the spotlight. Johnny Stamps, we see him when we're doing the Challenge of the Americas. So yeah, there's a bunch of guys. Flavio Queenie, Challenge of the Americas top 10 driver as well. A lot of different guys that could step to the forefront. There are so many drivers in this field. You don't know what the top 20 is going to look like until we roll out really for qualifying.
Yeah, and that was a good note you said about Zachary Clayman DeMello winning at the Rio. He has won at the Rio, so he's been actually working really hard on getting back into race shape. He picked up the victory at the USPKS finale at Newcastle in the single speed category. So again, this is going to be a really tough field. To make the top 30, I think is going to be very difficult to do because you always are going to have a little bit of chaos throughout the heat races. And the Overbeck thing, this is his first time at this event. So we'll see how he kind of transitions from the IAME side of things to the VLR program, racing with Brandon Jarzakrak Racing, who's going to have a pretty good tent there this
Dave,
year.
Quiz question for you. Zachary Clayman DeMello taking the victory, was running third on the racetrack. Who are the two drivers that got together on the lap that allowed Clayman DeMello to come through for the race win?
I know one. I'm trying to think of the other. Was it Zillage and Brooks?
Nope, neither.
What?
One is currently an F2. One's a former world champion.
Former world champion? Morgado? No. Travis Anuto.
No, I believe he was on a Fullerton at that point in that race.
Okay, you really got me now.
They were going into the last corners. The last segment for on the front straight, it was Danny Kirill and Jack Crawford.
That's who it was.
Crawford was leading.
That's where I got the Nash mixed up. Okay.
Yeah. Crawford was leading, and Kirill tried to give him a little bump and run. They stacked them up on top of each other in a beautiful over-under for Zachary Clayman DeMello, and was able to clean through and run away with the race.
Look at you stumping me today. That
doesn't happen a lot.
You got me while my brain is completely full on capacity right now. So
I know.
No time to digest yet. So because I do know that was 2019. Yeah. That was at the Rio.
Yep.
I guess that was counterclockwise direction, right?
They were running counterclockwise as well. Yeah. The big rundown. I watched it about, I think maybe 2 months ago. It popped up and I watched it. What a crazy finish that was. Zach was perfect on the over under. I think he knew it was coming, right? Set himself up for the over under when they got together, because let's be real. Jack Crawford, I think he was only 14 at that point, was looking for a major win. Mm-hmm. And that contact between the two of those drivers.
Yeah, because I think we had a very similar finish in the KA category as well too. I think was it? Oh my gosh, he works for Able right now. Dakota Pesic in the top cart was right there, and I think the other one might have been Josh Holtz, and I think those two kind of got together or were involved in coming onto the straightaway there. I remember that was a very tricky spot.
It was because there was a bottleneck coming in. Yeah.
Yes. So that was an interesting layout.
All right, off to another break. I've stumped David. It doesn't happen very many times.
No, enjoy it.
We'll mark 10, 22, 25. Mark that date down. We get back after this break. We'll go ROK GP Junior and ROK VLR Junior. More to come on the OutLap, previewing this coming weekend's ROK Vegas event. Wins at the sport's biggest races, as well as championships across all levels of karting, pack the resume for NitroKart. the Nitro Kart brand has made its statement as the best, fastest, and most reliable cadet chassis on the North American karting market. If you want to win in cadet, both in 2-cycle and 4-cycle competition, get a Nitro Kart and join the team. Team Nitro Kart will be at all major events, trackside with Ryan Perry Motorsport, the official race team. Owner Ryan Perry and his RPM operation carries the full selection of Nitro Kart chassis and parts, while also providing the same driver development focus as Nitro Kart owner Nick Tucker. You can also join the Team Nitro Kart race team at all major 4-cycle races this season. Led by longtime Nitro Kart tuner Cody Johnson, Team Nitro Kart will be at all the major Cup Karts North America events with arrive and drive opportunities available for all ages. Nitro Motorsports is a true karts-to-karts driver development program that is already gaining success after launching in 2022. Victories and championships in the Trans Am Series has highlighted the team's start, along with the success in the new GR Cup by Toyota. Current and former karters can take advantage of this unique ladder system with Nitro Kart and Nitro Motorsports. Visit Nitro Kart online and find them on social media. Nitro Kart, race one or chase one. You know his name from 20 years of winning big races and national championships. Jordan Musser is a 4-time Rotax Max national champion and has 5 SCUSA Pro Tour titles to his resume. Over the past 12 years, away from karting, he's also been busy with contract work in varying areas of engineering, motorsports, and executive leadership. All of this experience has led the industry veteran to form Musser Technical, rolling out Mustech Pro karting products this year. The first product released by Musser Technical is focused on support for the AIM Sports Smarty Cam systems. Mustech has 3 major categories of products: a bespoke camera mount, wire harness, and a battery and mount system. The Mustech camera mount comes with both weld-on or clamp-on mount styles, and both are SCUSA approved. The wire harness has an integrated push-button power-off and does not require a data hub, as the power connector for the battery is integrated, really tidying up the wiring. To complete the package, Jordan has sourced a top-quality power sports battery and mount, all housed in a metal cage that bolts to the back of your seat, out of the way. It weighs under 1 pound and will power the camera for 2.5 hours of recording. A fast charger for the battery will be available by the Super Nationals. Camera mounts for air-cooled engines are currently in the R&D phase. Head to mussertechnical.com to see the entire product line and learn more about Mustech Pro karting products. Back at it with episode 98 of the EKN OutLap, kicking off our EKN Trackside coverage of this coming weekend's ROK Vegas event at the Rio Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Rob Howden here and David Cole. Dave will be trackside on Tuesday. He'll be there for the engine raffle. I'll roll in on Thursday night. They'll be there for the start of our broadcast on Friday morning with heat race number 1. We're working our way through the class-by-class previews right now. ROK GP Junior, 26 drivers in the field. And again, we'll have a look at some of the former winners just to bring you back to some of the history of the event. 2018 was Sebastian Montoya. Enrico De Luca won in 2019. Alessandro De Tullio in 2020. And then since then, Aiden Ingrata, Jorge Ortiz, Augustus Toniolo, and last year, Diego Ardiles. The Florida Winter Tour champion, Cole Medeiros for this year. David, let's have a look at this category.
Yeah, Cole Medeiros is a part of this year's field, the 26 drivers that will be competing. The Canadian just did race at the ROK Cup Super Final, not exactly the results he was hoping for, but the Canadian will try and come in here to win his first time at the ROK Vegas event. The only former event winner we do have in the field is Isaac Malkit, who is coming off a U.S. Trophy Final victory at Newcastle. He won the mini ROK category back in 2022. So the driver for Mike Doty Racing certainly got some momentum coming into ROK Vegas.
Yeah, a lot of drivers lined up in this one here. You look at some of the drivers who've been good over the last couple of years. Sarah Bradley finished in 3rd spot last year. Other top 10 drivers, Jose Halfin, Nathan Dupuis, David, both those drivers in the top 10, as well as Geronimo Corral. So a number of drivers in the top 10 coming back for another shot at it here in 2025.
along with some drivers that are graduating up from the mini category who finished in the top 10. You look at Marco Samet, who finished third last year in the mini category. He's coming off a fourth place finish at the U.S. Trophy Final, so maybe his stride is coming together very well. Braden Wagner for GFC Karting finished sixth in mini last year. Kaysen Hodge finished seventh in mini, while John McClellan, right? McClellan finished 10th last year. So there's certainly some notable rookies in the junior ranks coming up, but also some names that have been really good throughout the season. Let's start with USPKS champion Theo Salomeo. The Brazilian came on to the U.S. scene essentially this year, winning twice in Daytona and kind of set the stage for the rest of the year. Not quite the results he wanted as the season went on, but certainly a championship year for him. Just above him, Luca Popescu picking up his first couple of wins and podiums on the year in junior ranks. Travis Pettit knocking off some victories in multiple programs throughout 2025 in different categories as well. So those are some notable names on the list.
I'll throw Tristan Murphy in there as well. A driver like Royce Vega stepping up and almost coming away with a USPKS win at Newcastle. Penalty dropped him back, but he did finish for P1 on the racetrack. So speed there for Vegas. He's moving up to start to focus on the top level junior categories. And last but not least, a driver we talked a lot about, David, when we were covering the Challenge of the Americas throughout the year, Eric Doan as well. He'll be one, I think, that will be right in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, Eric Doan been doing a lot of shifter kart racing as well in the Pro Kart Challenge. Won 6 of 6 in the new junior shifter program that they do have there. So nice. Kind of interesting. They have PSL karting with the EOS chassis. So I'm not sure exactly. He's been racing with Nash Motorsports, but he's also been doing some racing with Burrell Art on the shifter side. So we'll have to kind of wait and see what who he's racing with when we get to ROK Vegas.
So let's have a look. We'll probably get some double duty drivers here because we also have the ROK VLR junior class. 47 drivers in this category, as we mentioned in the by the numbers. Former winners include Jorge Ortiz, Thomas Annunziata, who is really just absolutely stunning people right now up in the stock car world. Love watching Thomas get the job done up there. Jesus Vasquez Jr. a couple of times a winner, Stephen Miller, and Alexander Vanchep. We've talked already about the fact that he's moved up to the senior categories, though David was a winner in the junior class here in VLR last year in 2024. He's also the Florida Winter Tour champion in the category, although, as we've said, after a tremendous year here in junior, Vanchep jumping up to the big boy class running in senior.
Yeah, we only have 2 former winners for ROK Vegas in the event, both of them winning in the mini ROK category. The most recent winner was Nico Orbezo, the driver for Iron Rock Motorsports. He'll be coming in, or he won in 2024. Sorry. Yes. I'm not sure why it says second in the win. I'll have to fix that. But yeah, so Orbezo is a former winner along with Isaac Malkit, who we talked about just before. So he'll be doing double duty. He won the mini ROK category in 2022, and he actually finished 4th in this category last year. So he's actually the top returning driver coming into this year's event.
Yeah, so again, not surprising. Some of the big names. We mentioned Eric Doan already. We've talked about Nate Dupuis quite a bit throughout the show here. You look at guys like Jose Halford and mentioned him running against with Rawlson Performance Group. We talked about Medeiros with Racing Edge. We mentioned Tristan Murphy, Travis Pettit, and Popescu, both RPG drivers. Salomeo, double duty drivers, David. You know they're going to be fast in all the categories. Royce Vega. I'll throw Braden Wagner in there as well. We've watched Braden really start to develop over the last couple of years. 6th place last year in the mini ROK category, a chance for him to step up to the junior category, maybe shock some people here with a good run out of the gate.
Yeah, this is my first time really looking at the list, and I want to say it's maybe closer to 15 to 20 of the drivers doing double dip.
Yeah.
Because we do have 26 in the GP category. So, but as you said, you just raffled off like 10 names right there. So we could be closer to the 15 or 20 drivers actually double dipping. Cole Medeiros, one of those drivers that's double dipping for Canada. So yes, again, this category is probably a little bit more difficult because you do have those drivers that are focused solely on this category. So is it, kind of a focus situation, or is it track knowledge situation that will be key in being fast in this category? So with the way the racetrack is in 19 turns, I gotta think maybe track time is going to be a little bit more important because it's not so much of an easy racetrack to drive. So we could see some of the double duty drivers kind of showing well towards the end of Wednesday practice as we get into the big show on Thursday.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we'll be able to see it, right? By the end of Thursday, if the drivers who had double the track time really are predominantly at the top of qualifying, you're going to know how crucial it was. Again, I ran the Supernats myself. All the sessions I had, my fastest lap of the entire weekend, and a driver who doesn't get a chance to race a lot, though, David, was, I think, lap 14 or 15 to the main event. Had I been able to double up on my track time and running in the afternoon sessions as well, it definitely would have helped. Anytime you're at a track that struggles for grip, meaning you can stay on top of the racetrack as well as it changes and then learn it a lot quicker. These kids that are doing double duty very likely would be the ones we're going to see up front.
I think somebody pushed you around for that lap, but
probably
that's my thought.
Possibility.
But yeah, so definitely by the time we get to qualifying, that would be kind of a cool little focus is, okay, who of the top 10 in each of the category, this category, and even the VLR senior program, who are double duty in the top 10.
Love it. All right, another break, folks. Yeah, when we get back, we're going to go VLR Masters, Super Masters, Master Shifter, and Super Masters. We'll talk about the guys 32 and up and 45 and up after this break. There is no other brand in karting more recognized across the globe than Rotax. Race Rotax is proud to provide the platform for Rotaxians to compete all across the U.S., from the grassroots level all the way to the Rotax U.S. Trophy Final. The road to Bahrain began with the RMC USA West event in February at the Phoenix Kart Racing Association facility, and it now continues with the RMC US Trophy Final, scheduled for October 17th and 19th at the famed Newcastle Motorsports Park in Newcastle, Indiana. Tickets to the 2025 Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals in Bahrain on November 29 to December 6th will be presented that weekend, providing racers with the opportunity to compete at the Olympics of karting. Visit racerotax.com to learn more about the RMC US Trophy Final event. Race Rotax, an experience like no other. Established in 1999, PSL Karting has become a powerhouse within the karting industry for North America and around the world. PSL Karting is your complete source for all Burrell Art products as the North American importer, providing this top quality product through both their expansive dealer network or through the PSLkarting.com online store. Whatever you need is available 24/7 online, including safety gear, parts, components, and full karting packages. All three brands, Burrell Art, Ricardo Kart, and Charles Leclerc Karts, are in stock and ready to hit the track. Grab your winning chassis for any category by visiting PSLkarting.com to find your nearest dealer. PSL Karting is always looking for interest in new dealers and teams to help create new business relationships. Drivers looking to take their talents to the next level can join the Burrell Art North America race team, competing at all the major US and Canadian events this season. When you're ready to win, go with PSL Karting. Back at it here with the OutLap, episode 98, our preview for ROK Vegas coming up this weekend at the Rio. And again, one of the key points this weekend, David and I mentioned it in the first part of the show and going through by the numbers as well, was the fact that not only is there a Masters category here this year for drivers 32 and up, there's also a Super Masters category within a category for those 45 years of age and older. And to be honest, in the VLR category, 23 Super Masters drivers answering the call. We'll get to that momentarily. We'll start, though, with the ROK VLR Masters class. 12 drivers all told. Former winners include Jonathan Silva, Tim Meyer, Miguel Mir, Martin Stone, Ian Kunches, and, of course, Ben Cooper, back-to-back wins. Mark Pavin was the Florida Winter Tour champion, David. A couple of former winners in the event here this weekend. Could get interesting in Masters. I think, myself, I'm pretty sure who they're going to be chasing.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to be chasing Ben Cooper is
Yeah.
going to try and become the first driver to win 3 straight in any category at ROK Vegas. That is something I was able to kind of look up. So that would be record setting for sure if he's able to do that. I probably could have had 3 already, but I think Mike Smith took him out in 2022. So make sure if Mike Smith is listening that he hears that.
Wow.
I love to throw people under the bus.
I know you do. 100% know it.
But he will definitely be battling a 3-time winner of the. So he already not 3 in a row, but 3 times winning in the ROK GP Masters category. That's Renato Jader David. He won in 2022. He won in 2020 and 2018. So this being an odd number year, I don't put him as the favorite because of he's only won an even number of years. So. But I definitely got to think that RJD is going to be a force to reckon with in this category for sure. Anytime he's on the racetrack, he's fast.
Yeah, 3rd last year. A couple other drivers in the top 15. Paul Elefante running with the Rocket Racing Company crew. Ryan Molina with SLA Racing. Matthew Meach, who we saw kind of dive back into it earlier this year, will be running with Orsalon Racing. I think he'll be in the fight. And the year that I did run the KA 100 category, the Masters class at Supernats, Ryan Kasner was there as well. He and I were having a good time racing together. He was a little quicker than I was and was able to get his way out of the early chaos at the start of our race. But Kasner, I think, is a guy that you're going to see probably running in the top 5, top 6. Those are some of the drivers I think, David, we're going to see alongside Charlie Fonseca, who will be under the RPG tent with Cooper as well. So those drivers will be able to go over a lot of data together.
Yeah, and you add in the Supermaster VLR guys that will be on the track at the same time and on the same, some teammates in there as well. Yeah. If we move into the Supermaster, you look at Mario Barrios, who's racing for RPG. So RPG has got a pretty strong contingent of Masters drivers and could sweep the 2 categories that we do have in this race group.
I don't want to interrupt. Let me throw this out there for you. We just went through the guys in the Masters category. Yeah, we've been doing this a long time right now, right? Obviously, we've talked a lot about the fact that you're into your 21st year, the whole deal.
Yeah, and you're old.
I look at this list, and these are the stars of Masters racing 10 years ago.
Right.
Like, you look at some of these guys that were the guys we talked about in the Supercarts USA Pro Tour, and it started from 2010 and on. The Barrios, the Paul Bonillas, Bonilla, of course, with the Challenge of the Americas as well. I'll just throw some of the names out, but Falcone, Jackson, Jones, Mardan, Meyer, Mir. These are the guys that have been Masters racing and that the very top of their game for so many years. And I love this Super Masters class to give them an opportunity to really go head to head with each other in terms of, the age being 45 and up.
Yeah. I mean, this one is going to be one to watch. And that's why I'm interested to see if they are going to separate or not, because this could be a class by its own on the racetrack by its own, and be a great show. I mean, we talked about Mateo Pappas, his father, Max Pappas, will be racing in this event. He's won a number of times in Masters racing at Trackhouse Motorplex. So we'll see how he is in the temporary side of things. But yeah, you talk about Paul Bonilla, former Pro Tour champion, Challenge champion, Scott Falcone, former Challenge champion, former Pro Tour champion, Mike Jones, a former Super Nationals winner. Yeah. Laurentiu Mardan, USPKS champion, a Team USA driver, who won, or Tim Mayer, who won in 2019 in this category, in the Masters category, Miguel Mir, who won in the Masters category in 2020, Eric Molinari. Like, I didn't even think he was that old. Obviously he's 42, right? 45 years old. Yeah, so, it's just, it's a great field to have in this category.
Eric Jackson, right? Team USA driver.
Yeah. Eric Jackson's going to be a factor. I think if he has the rust shaken off, he can definitely put down some times.
How much do we thrash on Daryl Redland? Good to see Daryl back out here.
Yeah, good to see Daryl. I'm not going to thrash on him. No. He's behind the wheel, going after it. Yeah. Still racing more than me and you. So
sprint cars, he's racing sprint cars too.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. So definitely he's in shape. He's going to be there to do it. It's just staying out of trouble. That's the one thing about some of the Masters racing. These guys get kind of racy. They don't like to take their time. So That's
No,
my
you're
prediction
right.
for this category.
All right, that's your prediction.
There's going to be something that happens, whether it be on Friday during the heat races or during one of the final heat races on Saturday.
You figure they're not going to be able to have that the focus they need on really staying, don't make
especially if they got the other Masters guys in there, because some of the, like I said, there's no reason not to think a Supermaster guy can't win the overall if they do combine everybody. And so you're going to have that kind of mixture. Like, who am I racing? It's almost like, thankfully they have different numbers. Obviously you got the 700 for the regular Masters category. And then you got just 2 digits for the Supermaster guys. So at least we have that. But again, guys are going to want to try and beat the Masters guys. And I see that happening.
That's a matter of pride for sure, right? They're going to have the elbows up. Let's move to the Masters shifter and Supermaster shifter class. 12 drivers in total, 4 in the Masters shifter category. And again, we talked about the fact that with the move to kind of KZ, there's not a lot of ROK shifter drivers available to go racing here. Former winners, still a who's who, with Jordan Musser winning a couple of times, 2 wins for Ryan Kinnear, a couple of wins for Antonio Pizzonia Jr. as well, former F1 driver. Brian Keck, the most recent race winner. But David, only 4 drivers going to make the call here this weekend. Hunter Hagenbach, Jose Montalto, Luis Quiones, and Sergio Rodriguez. 4 drivers in the shifter Masters category.
Yeah, not a deep field, obviously. No former winners. All 3 of the drivers were in this event last year. The top one being Hagenbach, finishing 9th last year. I can never say his name. Luis Quinones, finishing 11th. Rodriguez 13th, and it did not start for Jose Montalto. Again, this is where even the Supermaster guys might be able to win the overall, dependent on the speed and what they decide to do format wise. Yeah, 4 different countries represented, no former winners in the Super Masters category, though a couple of names that we've known for the last couple of years, meaning Patrick O'Neill for Ron White Racing on the CRG, his teammate Kevin Woods as well on the CRG. Both those drivers have won on the national level. They're both badasses and superstars at Sonoma Raceway. I would expect that those are the 2 drivers out of the gate we're going to be talking about as well, but Morn Von Tock's been very quick too. A number of drivers we don't get to see a lot, but we're going to get this chance to see at the Rio this coming weekend. Yeah, I think Morn Von Tock's responsible for at least 5 of those entries because they're all on the same cart and same team as him. So that's part of the growth and the demand for this category. And I'm sure if they keep going with this category, you'll start seeing some more guys. I mean, Jim Kidd, come on, where are you at, buddy? You should be here. Right? Sonoma champion in the restricted class. This is exactly the class for you to come to Vegas and have fun. Come on, let's go. Pack everything up. You and Cassie, let's roll. All right, we'll go to our final break, folks. When we get back, we're going to cap off this edition of the OutLap Preview Podcast as David and I are looking at ROK Vegas this coming weekend. We'll cap it all off with a look at the cadet categories, ROK Mini and ROK Micro, up next. In karting, it's important to be supported by the right people. With over 40 years of experience in the sport, Trinity Karting Group has everything you need to make your program successful. We do it all, and we do it right. We offer trackside support and arrive and drive programs at many of karting's biggest East Coast events, full product sales and service, and professional coaching from our experienced staff. Trinity Karting Group is a full-service operation based at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati, which gives us access to our custom-designed driver training facility. This allows us to offer one-on-one coaching to take you to the next level. From arrive and drive and coaching programs to the parts you need, let Trinity Karting Group provide you with customer service and a racing experience second to none. Trinity Karting Group is an official Kart Republic race team, providing full trackside support at all the major USA karting events, including the SCUSA Pro Tour, United States Pro Kart Series, the SCUSA Super Nationals, and other events throughout the season. TKG has Kart Republic, IAME, MG Navinco tires, and more products in stock for those in Ohio and the Midwest region. Trinity Karting Group has a long history in the sport, a winning pedigree, and we're dedicated to driver development. We take pride in our professional approach and our positive attitude.
Let us build a custom race program for you. Give us a call at 513-421-4463 or check us out online at trinitykartinggroup.com. Check out any major national karting event, and what's the common thread? Speed Concepts Racing. Up front, in every class, every weekend. The Speed family has been at the forefront of American karting for over 25 years, and Speed Concepts Racing is the sole dedication of Father Mike Speed and his multi-time championship-winning son Alex Speed. This program is all about passion for the sport and a dedication to winning. They know how to get it done. If you're a senior driver ready to put yourself amongst the best in the country, Speed Concepts Racing is the program for you. We can win the big races. You just need to be in the seat. The Speeds program has delivered time over time in the junior classes as well, helping to elevate a long list of young drivers from mid-pack to potential race winners. Speed Concepts Racing has the perfect equation of coaching, driver development, and technical knowledge to elevate your program. Arrive and drive opportunities are available for the remainder of the 2023 season, and we're locking in seats for 2024 as well. If you're ready to take your career to the next level, contact Speed Concepts Racing through email at speedconceptsracing@gmail.com. 5 great days of racing action coming this weekend at the Rio Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. ROK Vegas back for another event, and it's going to be a big one. Over 300 pre-entries already. Wouldn't be surprised to see with their walk-ups, with at-track entries, getting up to maybe the 340, 350 mark, maybe even a new record in terms of the size of this event. Some good numbers as well, 52 in total in the cadet categories. And David, we'll start with the ROK Mini category, 20 drivers in the field. You go through this list. You think about how good these young drivers are, what they've accomplished moving forward. James Agozi, Kai Sorensen, Sebastian Garzone. He says 18, 19, and 20. Jack Iliff won in 21. Isaac Malkit in 22. Alexis Bajaron in 23. And Nico Orbezo winning last year. This is going to be a great race in the mini category.
Yeah, so we'll have an 8th different winner in this category for sure, with all those drivers moved up and on outside of cadet racing. The only former winner we do have in the field is the 2023 Micro ROK winner in Maxwell Macha, the driver for Parolin Motorsport USA. He's been among the top drivers in the mini ranks throughout the season, finishing top 5 in multiple championships on the year. So looking at that, he's probably among the top contenders. We do have a couple of former or returning drivers from last year, which could be top contenders as well. Luis Martinez, who we saw win the championship at the Challenge of the Americas and also picked up the Pro Kart Challenge Championship in California. He finished 14th last year. Paxton Romero coming back with Team Benick finished 15th last year. And Christian Demandias, I don't know if I said that correctly.
I'll have to work on that. Trust me.
Yeah.
I would say like Damandias.
Yeah. There you go.
Way
better than I did. So he finished.
We'll be making sure we talk to them to make sure we get right.
Yeah. He finished 21st last year, but number of drivers that raced in the micro category last year, moving up, all of them finishing within the top 16. Start with Santiago Orleone, who finished 2nd last year. Iker Alvarez finished 5th. You have Lance Perriman finishing 6th last year.
Lawrence.
Lawrence what did Perriman. I say? Lance, yeah.
Lawrence Perriman.
I should just call him Lance.
I think you'd rather go by Lawrence.
I know.
One of the coolest helmets in karting. Let's put it that way.
Yes, the basketball helmet for sure.
Love it.
Yeah. A good crop of micro drivers moving up this year. You got some solid names that we haven't even talked about yet that have been racing in mini for the last couple of years as well too.
Yeah, the micro drivers as well. 13th last year, Nico Salazar. 15th, Koa Sato. We watched Koa be quite a driver in the Challenge of the Americas. A lot of great speed there. You mentioned Paxton Romero already. Moro Nario was also in the top 10 last year. So a lot of drivers in the micro category with experience at the ROK Vegas event, with experience on a track like they're going to have this coming weekend. So they're going to be able to leverage that, David, and take that experience. One of the reasons why you do it, right? To be able to have that experience to be there the next year.
Yeah, a driver that I believe is in his mini rookie season, Cameron Johnson. He's another driver to kind of watch as well in this category.
No doubt about it. All right, one more class to go into, and it's even bigger than the minis, and it's 33 drivers in the ROK Micro category. Parker DeLong, Kai Johnson, Asher Osteen, Keelan Harvick, Alex Procuna, Maxwell Macha, and Win Godshot, all winning here at ROK Vegas over the last couple of years, 2018 to 2024. David, 10 different countries you have down here, and 9 drivers coming back from last year could make this one a very interesting race.
Yeah, like many, the micro is going to have an 8th different winner this year. Win Godshot, if he is going to race, he'll probably race in the mini category, but I don't think so because I think they have the WSK events going on, or even Champions of the Future program racing over in Europe and the Middle East as well. So a busy schedule for Win Godshot. But yes, a number of drivers, as you said, 9 drivers returning from last year. The top returning driver, Alvaro Medeiros, the driver from Brazil, finishing in the 3rd spot. He's actually the Florida Winter Tour champion. Just finished racing at the ROK Cup Super Final, was among the top contenders, but unfortunately had an issue at the start of the main event, so had to join the field from the tail, but passed a bunch of guys and actually recorded the fast lap of the race. So Medeiros could be among the top contenders heading into the weekend.
Yeah, we look at Liam and Tristan Francisco as well. Liam Francisco, David, 8th last year. This kid, you think he's ready to go?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. A couple of drivers coming off victories from last weekend where I was at the U.S. Trophy Final. Samuel Chaveri, the driver from Costa Rica, earning a ticket to the Rotax Grand Finals for his win in the Mini Max category. He'll be joining PSL Karting. Finished 14th in this race last year. Another winner from last weekend who finished 18th in this class last year, Jack Katowski. He was the Micro Max winner. He'll be racing with PSL Karting and Trinity Karting Group. So they're actually teammates, both last weekend and the upcoming ROK Vegas weekend.
Drivers we've talked a lot about that I expect to be talking about again this weekend, Lennox Lockhart being one of them. You talked about Westbrook. This time it'll be Dutch Westbrook running for Team Bennick. Chase Riddinger, a driver we watched in the Challenge of the Americas. Aiden Go. I think Aiden could be a driver to watch, David. He ran here last year, finished 23rd, but Aiden Go is a guy that we have watched over the last couple of years. If he's on his game, can be right up front with the best of them.
Yeah, he's won at the, I believe he's the Micro Swift champion for Pro Kart Challenge. So he's won there. He's won at Challenge of the Americas. He won on the east side. I'm trying to remember where it was he won. I want to say he doubled up at the SCUSA Spring Nationals, if I recall correctly, in the micro category. So yeah, Aiden Go definitely among those in the contenders in this category.
You got me jumping over to see if I can't find that for you here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the summer or the Spring Nats in Ohio.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, I wasn't at that one. You were actually there for that race. So yeah, if you again, anytime you can get a run like that done, where you again for the young drivers that are in the micro category and the mini categories, right? When they have that confidence builder, especially midway through the season, early in the season, like you said, Aiden ended confirming he and Dutch Westbrook were 1st and 2nd on the second day of competition, round number 4. So both those drivers could be right in the middle of the fight again. And what we love about the micro categories, you know how they're going to race. There's going to be lead groups. We'll see whether or not they pair off or not. But the bottom line is there are a number of drivers who have come or are coming back. I haven't been the whole numbers top of my head. I'm looking at probably almost 10 drivers who were there last year, who all finished inside the top 25. This is going to be exciting to watch when we get there for this category. The youngest drivers in the paddock.
Yeah, I mean, we could see a 15-driver lead pack for sure in this class.
100%. All right, David, that wraps things up. Let's cap it off here right now. As I mentioned already before, live coverage starting with heat race number 1 all the way through to the Sunday main events on the ROK Cup USA YouTube page. Free to watch, no subscription needed. Myself, DJ Clark. There's a lot of work with IndyCar Radio, with, of course, Fox Sports as well, and the IndyCar program. And then young Jackson Lambros is going to be with us as well. He'll be kind of manning the pit lane for us as well. Going to do a lot of work throughout the paddock. We're going to leverage him as much as we can. But the three of us will be bringing the coverage, starting with heat race number 1 on Friday.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch. A new crew to work with. that'll be the exciting part. But yeah, everybody that's not able to make it to Las Vegas, they'll be able to watch from home or on the road in their phone.
Yeah, we'll be streaming that on ekartingnews.com/live or ekartingnews.com/radio. So if you've downloaded the EKN Radio Network app, you can listen there as well. But if you're on social media, just throw in hashtag Rock Vegas or hashtag Rock Cup USA. We'll have everything coming out there. And as always, we'll lay down our moniker of hashtag EKN at ROK. Looking forward to being at ROK Vegas 2025. My first trip to this event, David. You've been there before. First time we've both been there together. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to being part of it. Once again, my one time in 2019, a wild and crazy event, and again, the week of Halloween, you never know what's going to happen. Lots to kind of unpack. We have the SV Pro category making its debut. And again, the Supermasters categories are definitely going to be ones to watch as well.
And projected to be fantastic weather. Let's put that out there.
Yeah, that'll be the great part.
All right, folks, our EKN Trackside coverage of this year's ROK Vegas is underway. The OutLap preview podcast is done. David Cole will be trackside for the engine raffle, Start the Paddock Insider on Tuesday. I'll be rolling in Thursday to be on the broadcast come Friday morning. It is going to be fun. The battle from Wednesday all the way through to see who comes away with the race wins on Sunday in all of the categories. And, of course, lots of focus on that SV Pro class packed with 50 drivers ready to go. Big thank you to everyone from ROK Cup USA for inviting us out to be part of the program. And on behalf of David Cole, folks, my name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.